Randy.
It is somewhat confusing. It's worth noting there were a number of demonstrations here across the country. Most of them did not have very many people, but it's also worth noting that they appear to be demonstrating with the president's blessing. There were protests today from Minnesota,
freedom and liberty,
to Huntington Beach.
Open up California now, Newsom.
Demonstrators visibly violating the guidelines issued by President Trump yesterday for reopening the nation. Guideline number 1, maintain social distancing. So how does the president feel about protesters ignoring his social distancing guidelines and demand their states reopen before the guidelines say they're ready?
These are people expressing their views. I see where they are and I see the way they're working. They seem to be very responsible people to me.
In fact, in a series of tweets this morning, the president appeared to be joining them, writing, "Liberate Minnesota, Michigan, and Virginia, all battleground states with popular Democratic governors." At the Coronavirus Task Force news conference today, President Trump was asked why he is supporting those who are openly violating his own guidelines.
I think some things are too tough. And if you look at some of the states you just mentioned, it's too tough.
The president was not asked which of the guidelines he issued yesterday are too tough.
This is just grossly irresponsible.
Today, Washington Governor Jay Inslee said the tweets reflect a president who is unhinged and dangerous.
It inspires people to do dangerous things. And it is a dangerous thing today to go out and congregate. It is a dangerous thing to ignore the orders that yesterday Donald Trump put out guidelines that we now need to follow. And today he came out and basically said people should not follow his own guidelines.
And while the president's guidelines require states to have a downward trajectory of documented cases for 14 days before beginning to reopen, some states appear to be getting a head start. Tonight, beaches in Jacksonville, Florida will reopen, but no more than 10 in a crowd.
First, we inform the people what the rules are. Then we warn if they don't comply, and then we take additional action if necessary if they still don't comply.
Texas will allow some retail to go, but not permit in-store shopping. Minnesota will allow golf courses to open this weekend. Wisconsin's governor said lawn care businesses might be able to operate, and Idaho will allow non-essential businesses like dog groomers to open. Public health experts have said in order to reopen safely, states will have to identify those who are sick through widespread testing, isolate them and the people they've come in contact with, and test first responders and people who live and work in vulnerable areas, including nursing homes and low-income communities. Today, the nation's leading expert on infectious diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci, said while there have been problems with testing supplies and availability, those problems are being fixed.
For what we need in the first phase, if these things are done correctly, what I believe they can, we will have and there will be enough tests to allow us to take this country safely through phase 1.
On CNN today, former FDA Commissioner Tom Frieden said he is not convinced.
Earlier today, we released a report and we calculated, quite simply, if we were just testing the highest priority people and nobody else, we'd need about 3 times as many tests. And since we're also testing some lower priority people, we're going to need more than that. And if we tried to test really extensively, it would be 10, 20 times that.
And as debate over reopening continues, news of drugs to treat the virus is making headlines. Gilead, the maker of the drug remdesivir, saw a surge in its stock price on news reports the drug helped COVID-19 patients in Chicago. New York, with 600 more deaths in the last 24 hours, is still a hotspot. One look at the Matterhorn mountain in the Swiss Alps shows how people around the world are showing their support for the U.S., the nation with the largest number of deaths in the world. While at home, John Fredericks climbed onto his fire escape in New York to offer his own tribute to healthcare workers who risk their lives to save others. And if you're thinking maybe some people appear to be jumping the gun on all of this, it's worth noting the president's original guideline, 30 days to slow the spread, well, that doesn't expire for another 2 weeks. Let's go back to you.
Randy, thank you.